Am I the a-hole for accepting money from my parents for my wedding then eloping? My parents gave each of my brothers $50,000 when they graduated from university as a down payment on their home. When I graduated, they did not do the same for me. I asked about it and they said my husband should provide. I wasn't married. I still lived at home. 3 years later, I met my husband. We dated for a year and then we got engaged. My parents were overjoyed. When we set a date, they gave me a check for $50,000 to pay for the wedding. WTF? I took the check and we eloped. We then used the check for a down payment on a house. My husband had a similar amount saved up, so we are in a good spot with equity. My parents, they're furious that they didn't get a big wedding for all their friends and family to attend. They said that they gave me the money for a wedding. My argument is that I got married and had leftover money. Accurate in my books. My brothers are on their side. So I am here to ask if I'm in the wrong. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give the veil I made for my daughters to my future daughter-in-law and also not making her own veil? When I was younger, I made my two daughters veils for their weddings. I did some embroidery on them, and they are very beautiful. My younger daughter is already married and used it for her wedding. My other daughter is gay and will probably wear a tux for her future wedding. I am still holding onto it in case she wants to use the veil or make something else with it. Maybe a pocket square. So one veil is still in my home and the story came up at dinner about how I made them for my kids. My future daughter-in-law has been talking about it since. She asked to use the one that I have saved for my daughter. I told her no. And she told me that my daughter won't be using it anyways. So what is the harm? Still a hard no from me. She asked me to make her a veil for the wedding in a few months. I told her no to this also. I have arthritis and I can't really do that anymore. I explained why and this started an argument. She thinks I am a jerk for not doing this and I am not accepting her in the family. My reasons are above. She called Dan a jerk and my son is telling me to suck it up and give her one. My daughter, the gay daughter, for clarification, is happy I held on to her veil. Am I the a-hole for apparently making the wedding all about me by being difficult and not taking off work to go dress shopping? My son told me to come here. I am on my phone background. I have to travel for my job Monday through Friday. I have been getting on a plane every Monday and getting back on Friday due to a project needing to be supervised. My future daughter-in-law works 4 days a week, Wednesday to Saturday, 10-hour shifts. She wants to meet up to get a dress for the wedding. She wants to be there when I get a dress. Originally, I was just going to wear the same dress I wear for all wedding, long blue dress, but she wanted me to wear something else since it will match her bridesmaids. So looking at our schedule, Sunday would be the best day to do this. We are both off. She told me no since that is her rest day. She asked for Monday. I told her I can't and have to work. Then I suggested Friday or Saturday after work. Those got shut down. She wants me to take off work. I then suggested she send me examples of what she wants and I'll shop by myself and buy something like the examples. Also shut down. After much back and forth, I told Ita will just wear the blue dress. This started an argument and she called me a jerk. My son is mad that I am making the wedding about me and not taking off work. I don't think I am being unreasonable, but he told me to post here. Update. My son has this link. Anyways, he told me I can wear the blue dress and that it won't be an issue. No response from future daughter-in-law. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister her wedding idea is tacky? My sister and her fiance are getting married in Sept and they just sent out wedding invites. On it, they basically said they have everything they need, so if anyone wants to contribute, they can give a cash contribution towards their honeymoon. They are moving shortly after the wedding, so I get they don't want gifts. However, I found it really tacky, and this weekend when they came over, I told them that. Not in an accusatory way, just when they asked how we liked the invite, my sister designed it. I said I liked the card, but the asking for money was tacky. I think gifts are different than money and they shouldn't ask for money if they didn't want gifts. My sister got really upset and said it was voluntary, and I said, so are gifts. She stormed off, and my parents have been angry at me for being an asshole. Am I the a-hole for telling everyone how Mill acted at our wedding? I, 26 female, got married to Jack, 26 male, in August. We have been together since we were 15. Jack and I decided to have an immediate family-only wedding. It was extremely small, my dad and brother, his parents and sister, husband. My dad paid for everything. Mother-in-law, father-in-law ask if they can stay with us the week of the wedding. We say sure. They show up and they brought mother-in-law, sister, husband, and niece 14. The 5 of them are in the entry of the house and expect to stay with us this week. I'm annoyed, especially since they weren't invited. But I say nothing. Mother-in-law walks right past me, then turns to me and asks if we invited Jack's cousin. We will call her Jane. I tell her no. We just invited you guys and my family. The reason Jane is not invited is because she's drama, wore white to Jack's sister's wedding, and made a scene. The day before the wedding, I get up and notice my car is missing. I had last-minute things to get. Turns our mother-in-law helped herself to it, so she can go shopping at the mall. I call Jack, he calls his mom, she returns the car 4 hours later. The mall is 15 minutes away from our house. I was able to get everything I needed and head home. When I get home, Jack pulls me aside and tells me mother-in-law yelled at him for having a camera in the house. We have a camera facing the back door. We check it to make sure the dogs aren't outside and it's locked. Either way, it's not hidden and it's our home. To me, that was sus, so I check the footage and hear how mother-in-law and are absolutely berating me and our house. I show it to Jack and he says to say nothing. The day of the wedding arrives. Mother-in-law opens our bedroom door asking for an iron. I go grab one for her. I close the door and start getting ready. I have a picture of my mom passed away next to the mirror and I'm just in my head about it all. Then mother-in-law opened the door and asks for an ironing curler. I get her one. I close the door and lock it. I call my dad to linger outside the door. The limo arrives to pick me and my husband to bring us to the church. Before I get out the door, mother-in-law, father-in-law, aunt, uncle, niece get in the limo and open the special bottle that my dad kept from his wedding. So now it's me, Jack, and all his family in the limo on the way to church. Like a clown car. They drink the whole bottle, which I wanted to share with my dad and brother. At the reception, Jack and I catch mother-in-law going through the wedding envelopes to see what everyone gave. She is pulling money out and telling Jack his sister is cheap. Again, I say nothing. The last straw was when I looked around and mother-in-law and were missing. I find them hiding, calling Jane, who didn't even know about the wedding, to tell her she wasn't invited. Lastly, I got my photos back from our photographer. Aunt, mother-in-law, uncle are doing the peace sign behind our heads in every group picture. I've told my friends what happened because it bothers me. But my husband is saying I am the a-hole because I shouldn't tell anyone. Please leave your comments down below to any of today's stories. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.